After a 10-day investigation which involved speaking to 55 witnesses, reviewing a whole host of electronic evidence, and visiting the scene multiple times, the three-judge panel constituted by the Chief Justice of India finalized its report on the fire which had broken out at the residence of sitting High Court Judge Justice Yashwant Varma earlier this year, which had led to the discovery of piles of half-burnt currency notes. This panel, which comprised Chief Justice of the Punjab and Haryana High Court Sheel Nagu, Chief Justice of the Himachal Pradesh High Court G.S. Andhavalia, and Karnataka High Court Judge Justice Anu Shivraman, submitted the report in early May this year to then Chief Justice of India Sanjeev Khanna. We knew then that the panel had recommended that Justice Varma be removed from judgeship, but it is only now that we have access to the entire report, and this is what we know so far. Without beating around the bush, the report has damning conclusions against Justice Varma, and these conclusions seem to have been drawn after a thorough investigation. These are some of the interesting points from the investigation. There were at least 10 eyewitnesses who told the panel that they saw these piles of half-burnt currency notes in the storeroom of Justice Varma's residence where the fire had broken out. They found this when the fire was being doused in the early hours of March 15th. These eyewitnesses were officials with the Delhi Police and Delhi Fire Service. Apart from the statements of these eyewitnesses, there was also ample electronic evidence in the form of photographs and video recordings, which were all duly certified by the Central Forensics Laboratory in Chandigarh. Justice Varma was unable to refute what was seen and heard in these recordings. Two of his staff members, his personal secretary Rajinder Singh Karki and another staff member named Rahul, could be heard in the background in one of the videos, which refuted their claims that they were kept away from the storeroom when the fire was being doused. Speaking of staff members, domestic staff employed by Justice Varma did not give any statements against him for rather obvious reasons. But the panel noted that there were enough independent witnesses who had no prior associations with Justice Varma and therefore had no axe to grind with him, and these independent witnesses had given strong statements in support of the version of the eyewitnesses. The conduct of Justice Varma's daughter, Diya Varma, was also flagged by the panel. In the beginning, she told the panel that the video could have been of a fire which had broken out elsewhere, and she had also refused to identify the voices of the staff members, which was heard in the background of some of the videos. She later wrote an email to the panel seeking to retract her statement, saying that she was panicked and overwhelmed in the aftermath of the fire. One of the most important claims that Justice Varma had made in his response to the allegations was that there was CCTV covering the entrance of the storeroom at all times, but that the footage could not be recovered. Justice Varma questioned if the hardware had been sealed properly, but the panel noted that Justice Varma had had 10 whole days to secure the CCTV footage before it had ever been sealed by the panel. The panel also rejected Justice Varma's claim that the storeroom was open to all. It noted that the permission to access the storeroom was with Justice Varma and his family members. Apart from that, 2 CRPF personnel who were posted to guard the residence told the panel that the storeroom had been locked when the fire broke out. The panel also noted that Justice Varma had made no attempt to immediately report the incident after the fire had broken out. The judge, who was in Bhopal when the fire broke out, did not immediately visit the storeroom on his return to Delhi. The panel opined that this conduct was highly unusual. Justice Varma had also claimed that there was some sort of conspiracy afoot on social media against him to malign his reputation and to discredit him. But the panel noted that he was unable to give any more details and that he had never made a police complaint or informed the Chief Justice of India or the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court where he was posted at the time. Having concluded that cash was indeed recovered from the storeroom, the panel noted that Justice Varma was unable to account for it. The final damning conclusion against Justice Varma was that 2 of his staff members had removed the half-burnt cash after the fire service and police personnel left the premises. In the end, the panel said that there is enough evidence to prove serious misconduct and that it recommends that proceedings be initiated for the removal of Justice Varma, who was transferred to the Allahabad High Court after the incident. After the report was submitted to the Chief Justice of India, Justice Varma was given an option to resign. But he refused to do so, following which the report was forwarded to the President of India and the Prime Minister so that they can initiate impeachment proceedings. But these proceedings are notoriously long and complicated and has never in the history of independent India actually resulted in the removal of a judge. But now that Justice Varma has refused to resign, the ball is in the court of the central government on what future action may be taken against the High Court judge.